It actually leaked. A new Pokemon Presents is coming next week. Let's take a look. Central Leaks reported just a few days ago, it's happening from Pokemon Masters EX Datamine. Pokemon Presents coming on August 8th, and it does seem as though that there will be a Pokemon Presents next week on Tuesday. Now, this information comes from a Datamine leak in Pokemon Masters, one of the mobile spin-off games, that indicates that there's going to be a Pokemon Presents related event happening on the 8th. And this timing does seem pretty appropriate, given the fact that the Pokemon World Championships is going to be the following weekend, starting in Japan, I believe on the 11th of August, and generally we get some sort of reveals there, and we've kind of had this little bit of a news drought for the Pokemon franchise for a little bit, and we're expecting some sort of an announcement, and a Pokemon Presents aligns perfectly with that. Centro goes on to elaborate that usually the first character of a new gen in Masters is released earlier along all the updates. However, Nemona releases suspiciously late at the time Pokemon Presents normally takes place. So this makes me wonder, why is Nemona releasing late, and is there some sort of tie-in to this? A Pokemon Presents would obviously encompass all of the different games in the Pokemon franchise. It would certainly have a highlight of Pokemon Sleep, which I know a lot of you guys are enjoying, finding some shinies and stuff. It would have, you know, obviously the highlight for the DLC as the main thing. And then we're gonna talk a little bit about Pokemon Black and White and what that remake could look like, because there's some pretty interesting stuff there as well. So lots to talk about in this video. We've got so much to cover, so let's keep it rocking. I do want to mention too, people like Soul Silver are saying, oh snap, the actual phrase Pokemon Presents is Datamine. That's 99% confirmed for August 8th, or at least the week of. And of course, mentioning that it's right before Worlds. Centro did put out a few tweets kind of breaking down what their expectation is for the DLC, which is kind of, again, the big focal point of what I'd be looking for out of the Presents. Although, again, getting some coverage on Pokemon Go and Masters and stuff like that. So let's take a look at that here. Oh, and before I do have to tell you guys that I'm running a sweet giveaway right now that you guys can enter for free. It's in the description below. It's to celebrate 1 year since I announced my game Alestrals on this channel. If you guys haven't been following the project, we launched on Kickstarter. People in the United States are getting their stuff. People are so pumped. It's been incredible. And we released this really awesome trailer yesterday. Did a ton of updates talking about our second set and everything else. And you can enter this giveaway for free by just checking us out on social media. You can win a Kickstarter booster box, a promo pack, which came with every backer, and an uncut sheet of Pantera, which nobody else has except for me. So that is truly a special treat. So make sure you guys enter the giveaway if you haven't done so yet. And check out my game, Alestrals, which is shipping now to US backers. So Centro goes on to say that based on the current rumors and hints, here's our prediction on the list of new Pokemon for the hidden treasure of Area 0. The DLC 1 is going to feature Okidoki, Munkidori, and Pheasantipity, which we know have this brand new poison-based ability and are likely poison types themselves. You've got Ogerpon, and then a convergent species and a convergent species evolution, which is along the line of like Tentacool and Toadscool, and then of course Wiglet and Diglett. So we're anticipating a new convergent species. A lot of speculation has been surrounded around Coughing and Wheezing potentially being those, and that was kind of a fun thing we talked about a few weeks back, so we'll have to see how that plays out, but that's been kind of the latest of the rumors. It also goes on to say that there's a new form for a non-starter Gen 1 through 8 Pokemon. We've seen some hints from the Riddler and other sources that it may have something to do with the Poochyena Mightyena line, but there may be some other Pokemon that are involved here as well, so it's a little unclear still. Centro goes on to talk about DLC 2, saying Terapagos, baby Terapagos, question mark, which, again, we've seen Terapagos, then we kind of saw some anime footage of the baby one, and we're really unsure if it's like, is it actually the same Pokemon, or is it a pre-evolution, etc. Potential new Paradox Pokemon, or multiple Paradox Pokemon. I would think that we've got to get new Paradox Pokemon, right? Like, they launched the game with all these Paradox Pokemon. They introduced the Virizion and the Suicune after kind of teasing us with some the book stuff. And then, I think there's a really big opportunity here for them to add new Paradox Pokemon. I think it's pretty easy, I feel like, for them to do that. So it would make a lot of sense. And then it goes on to say 1 or 2 new Pokemon potentially as well. Centro says, everything is based on vague hints. Information may be slightly inaccurate. The form has not been described as a regional form, so we expect it to be a new regular form. This would continue the trend of regional forms fading out of relevance, only 2 in the main game, 0 in the DLC, and the new convergent species is for a purple Pokemon that will turn green, and it's edible. So obviously that brings back my earlier point of a purple Pokemon Coughing that turns green, and it's edible as a watermelon. That's what we kind of brought up before. But again, a lot of this stuff is kind of pulled together from different potential leakers and potential rumors and things of that nature, and it's a little tough to pinpoint, but I think that we're certainly on the right track because Riddler Coup has given us quite a bit of information so far this leak season, especially over the last few weeks, and they actually dropped another tweet, which was a pretty interesting one. It's a picture of Reshiram and Reshiram and Zekrom, and they're kind of clashing here on this poster, and it says, no matter which world you are in, you cannot indulge your desires and lose your sense of justice. That's what Google Translate tells me from the Chinese, but there may be a more proper and accurate translation, so bear with me on that one. But nonetheless, there was some pretty interesting comments on a Reddit post about this. Ninjas fan does the translate as well and says, multiverse jumping kind of game. And if we end up with any kind of multiverse stuff, I do hope it takes the form of jumping between a past theme world and a future theme one, since that's the Gen 9 theme and traces of it were present in Unova. Very, very cool stuff, right? Like, you've got kind of this kind of opposite kind of yin and yang situation going on here with Pokemon Black and White. You've got the potential of different multiverses and different time jumps and stuff, especially when you bring in Legends Arceus and what that brought to the game in terms of those space-time distortions. And then you've got these different Pokemon that allow you to travel through time. You've got this past and present forms from these Paradox Pokemon. It seems like we're really headed down this path of like this very like drastically different past and future situation. I mean, that's really the core of the game. So it would only make sense for them to explore those themes even further if we were to go back to Unova, which it seems certainly that we are heading in that direction, right? I mean, we're seeing a lot of signs from Riddler Coup really pushing us towards Black and White. So I'd be all for it. And I'm actually curious on your opinions. Like, I would be so down to go to Unova, and I would be so down if it was in the style of Legends Arceus. When I reflect back on the last couple years of playing Pokemon, to me, Legends Arceus was my favorite experience. And I know that may be an unpopular opinion, but that's fine. That's just my opinion. I really thought that Legends Arceus, even though like the replay value maybe wasn't at the highest level for the franchise, I don't necessarily think that that's like the best way to evaluate a Pokemon game. I think because a lot of people don't even like play it after they beat it, right? So to me, Legends Arceus, like I completed the Pokedex, like I shiny hunted a ton of stuff. I got to Arceus, like the story was, you know, captivating. I think if you take that and you add the open world, like the true open world instead of segmented open world, and you kind of add a little bit of polish on it, I think you got something really cool there, right? And like I would be totally down to even go like online in battle, which is something that they left out of that game. So I'm really hopeful that whatever this new Unova game is going to be is something that's going to be something really exciting to kind of sink our teeth into. The last bit of news Centro does report on from Video Game Chronicles. There's some thoughts that the Nintendo Next Gen console is going to be coming out in the second half of next year, 2024. Probably not going to get any core announcements until after the holiday season this year, just to not cannibalize their holiday sales. But the reality of it is, like, I'll be the first to say, dude, we've had so many rumors for the next gen Nintendo console for years. Like, it never ends. There's always a new one coming out. So inevitably, we know they're going to release a new gen console, right? Like, that's obviously at some point, eventually, if we keep saying it's going to happen, it'll eventually happen. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things. So you guys can let me know, but second half 2024, that could potentially align very nicely, though, with a new Pokemon game launch, potentially in the Unova region. So that's that. I'm thinking Pokemon Presents next week based on the information we have from Pokemon Masters. So stay tuned for that, and let me know your thoughts on kind of the highlights for what to expect in the DLC. What do you want to see out of this Presents? I'm always a fan of seeing new Pokemon, so give me Convergent, give me a Coughing that I can eat, give me some Paradox Pokemon. I'm always down for it. Don't forget to enter our giveaway. It's free in the description below. You guys can check out my project, Alestrals. Like I said, we're shipping right now to our US backers. It's been wild, man. Like the hype and the comments and everything. It's been crazy. So thank you guys, anyone who backed it. I appreciate you. If it didn't back it, it's not too late to get in, man. Like, we're changing the game right now. We're making history, and this is your chance to be a part of a very, very special project. Like I said, people are just, there's so much hype around it right now. It's crazy. So I'm very excited, and I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.